Greetings on this Tuesday. I hope all is well. Coach T here. Not gonna keep you long at all. I hope not. It used to when I say that it'd be longer than I expected, but today it will not. So on this Teaching Tuesday or Tuesday, using reasoning. You know, guys, I got a book gonna come out sooner or later about how my life been since I left the small town of Louisiana, right? The small town of Louisiana. And the one thing I noticed about that town I came from is that people have very strong emotions to everything they do, and they have a very strong connection to right and wrong. This is right, this is wrong, ain't this right, ain't this wrong, and that's a question that they ask over and over and over again about being right and wrong. And if you're wrong to them, you're just wrong, period, and you don't have common sense, and something is definitely going on with you, right? It's interesting because right and wrong is very contradicting, right? To kill a person, everybody would agree that's wrong, period, wrong. But for some reason, if somebody thinks that it's justified to kill someone based off of their position in the world, based off of a badge, based off of a uniform, based off of, if this person did it to my mama, then it's okay for me to do it. If they did it to my daughter, it's okay for me to do it. But it's got to be all these circumstances to make it okay. But then again, that same situation, depending on what ethnic group, what culture you are, where you're at in the world, it looked at different when they do it. It's very interesting. It can be wrong all day long. Killing is wrong all day long. But the justification for it and the rationale behind it can make it okay, acceptable. Well, they have the authorities, they have the right, or these people well, that person tried to rape them, or that person tried to beat them, but then it's okay. It's wrong no matter what, right? But when you reason with it, we can find a way to say it's acceptable, or well, it's justified, or they ain't have a choice, right? It's wrong, period. And I'm not advocating that people that kill people are bad people or good people. I'm just saying it's wrong. Whether it's self-defense, whether it's unintentional, whether it's intentional, whether it's whatever. But we reason and make it make sense for us, right? And I'm not trying to say nothing besides we have to get better at thinking through things, communicating things a little bit different than what is okay right now for this person. It's okay right now for this situation. It's okay right now just because of who it is and why they did it. I don't know. I mean, hopefully it's making some sense to you, because it's not making any sense to me that we can justify wrong being wrong no matter what. But it's okay when we think it's okay, when we all agree, or when it's group thinking involved, or when the person is in a position that we say, okay, that position, you can do it. We agree on that. Hey, most people agree, not we all. Everybody don't ever agree on everything, right? So I would say that when we're doing things and when we're thinking about things and when we're reasoning with things, what if we can think about if it's for the greater good, the greater cause? What if we think about it from a bigger picture than just from our small perspective, our only perspective, just from our opinion, or just from our experience? What if we can think about it as, how would this affect our kids in the future? How does it affect the world in the future? How does it affect the other laws being built in the future based off this stuff? Not just off what we feeling emotionally now, right? It's funny how if you go to court, you get judged by peers, by people, and their opinions are different. All their opinions and their perspectives are different, but the majority win. And that's what decide whether this person go to jail for a long time, this person don't go to jail for a long time, or this person do a crime, but they don't get they do a crime and everybody find them guilty, but then a judge decide how the penalty is going to be inflicted. What to their knowledge and to their understanding, and whether it's a new thing, an unseen thing, a brand new, old, a repeating thing, they decide how egregious, grievous the act is, and how should they implement punishment, right? But then when a parent decides that for their child, and that's their child, they birth, they born, they made, they conceived, they growing, they taken care of, then the judge can also decide that you did too much, you did too less, you're a bad parent, you're a good parent, or you don't deserve kids. But who's judging those people, and who's holding them accountable? You see what I'm saying with all this reasoning? So my thing is, if we all just treat people the way we want to be treated, we all look at the perspective of, hey, would I want somebody to do this to my family member? Would I want somebody to do this to my daughter, my son, my brother, my sister, my uncle, my auntie, my baby, my pet, my buddy, my whatever? That's the way that we can all treat, if we all treat people the way we want to be treated, I think the world would be just a better place than all us looking at group thinking to say, well, you know what, because of this, then we all gonna say that, yeah, this is the way it should be. Because that's basically what we're doing in this world, right? We look at everything from such a group thinking mentality. And I understand that you gotta have something in place. What do you do when something in place don't make sense? You keep doing it over and over again, or you try and figure out a better way of doing things? And then who you do it with? Like right now, we got two parties that's dominating the whole United States of America, Republican, Democrats. And both of them is just like Crips and Bloods. I mean, it's red and blue. I mean, but it's okay because the government, again, group thinking, what the government doing, it's okay. It's group thinking, oh yeah, it's all right to be just pro this and pro that based off of the government, and it don't make sense. It's no different than Crips and Bloods. But it's wrong because Crips and Blood is another kind of group that wasn't ordained by the government. It's kind of pathetic, the thought pattern of how we give leadership influence over decisions that's being made that's contradictory and that's controversial. And we're allowed to keep going on and on and on just because we don't want to stand for something. We want to group think and say, well, you know, it's the way it is. It's okay, right? Oh, well, we can't fight that. We can't. It's ridiculous that we have any person to commit any crimes, but they get to run for office of the president of the United States of America. And we all know that you got convicted by your peers to say that you are convicted and you're wrong, and the judge inflict the punishment, but the punishment is not quite the same to other people that do small crimes and no crimes. The reasoning behind somebody want to say a billionaire, a millionaire, a thousandaire is equivalent to a slave. I mean, the reasoning behind the thought pattern on this stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know where I'm going with this. It's just we make our own problems, and then we justify them with stupidity and ignorance, and just saying what the news says. It's the reason why the news channel report on all the stations in the states the same stuff. I wonder who's telling who to tell you this, and it's a reason why we all think the same. Maybe because we all go to some kind of public school. Majority of people go to a public school. There's a reason why private school kids think a little different. It's a reason why people that go to Montessori school think a little different. It's the reason why people that go to Catholic school think a little different. It's because the way they was taught to think, and the way they've been trained to think, and the way they are. So what is a public school training you to think like? Why are we all good with group thinking? Why is it okay that certain people get away with certain things, and it's okay, and we all accept it and we know it's wrong, and nobody is able to justify it? Why are we saying the IRS is this, but we never call out that one person that's over the IRS and bringing them to the carpet to make them justify what they're doing and how the IRS get to do all the stuff they do. Why we're not bringing up and having these kind of discussions? While we are reading books and studying books and pushing books, we're only looking at small verses out of a big old black book, but it's so many verses in there that's so I don't even know the word. It keep on coming to my mind, but grievous. I don't know the word, but some stuff that's in that book that we study, but we want to choose and pick and choose the paths and the scriptures to echo over and over again when there's so many more scriptures in there that no one take out the time to read, focus on, and study and bring out and see how that's contradiction to what God probably would feel and think and be, right? We don't question it enough. We just go with what everybody has told us. And that's why reasoning is very important. Sometimes we need to reason with ourselves to say that, hey, am I just going along to get along? Or am I going along to be impactful, to be different, that's it. Be different and be impactful. Or am I going to say, I'm going along to be just like everybody else because I don't want to stand out, I don't want to be called out, I don't want to be judged. Why is it so bad to be judged? Because you're always wrong no matter what. I mean, no matter what you do, you're wrong. Everything I said was wrong. Everything that I'm bringing up in my whole head is wrong. It's not right because somebody else says it's not. But it's my thoughts. That's it. It's not a fact. Just my thoughts. It's my perspective. It's my way of seeing things. Does that hurt you? It shouldn't. It's mine. It didn't. Did anybody get bruised? Did anybody get hurt? But we'll argue that person down and fight that person based off of their thoughts and their beliefs and their understanding and their reasoning. Why is it wrong to not think like you? All right? Why is that? So it is longer than I expected. I lied. I just told y'all it wasn't gonna be long, but I stopped and stood here and just basically thought off the top of my head a lot of things that I'm questioning about how we have our way of thinking and why we think the way we think. And why is it okay? And why we still continue to do it when we know it's not okay. I do question the Bible and who wrote it and why they wrote it. It says the King James Version. It don't say it's God Version. It don't say it's this is that. It says the Holy Bible, King James Version. That's what it says. It says the Holy Bible International Version, the New International Version. It says the Holy Bible and it's some kind of version. It's not the Bible that God ordained. It's the Bible that is person's version, but we preach it, we teach it, we push it, and everybody just go along with the same scriptures and don't read it all for yourself. Don't focus on the scriptures that's very, very, very contradicting, and don't pay attention to the things that's really being said throughout the Bible. Just one or two verses that make you feel strong and make you feel good. And I understand you need something. I understand that. I ain't got no problem with that, but just be real about that. Understand that somebody gave you a version of that Bible. Why did they give you that version? What was the intent behind it? Start questioning who, what, when, where, and why. Stop just going along to get along. That's what I would like people to do. It's not a conspiracy. It's not an Illuminati. It's a reason why things happen. It's a reason why you listen to this. It's a reason why we exist. It's a reason why. Sometimes it's okay to challenge and look for a deeper understanding of the why. It's okay. Do it. Try it. Stop being lazy, right? That's my opinion. Lazy. Or stop being complacent and going with just whatever is out there. Do a little bit more research. The Bible clearly says study and show thyself approved of. Why don't you do that? Study and show thyself. Study and show thyself. Not listen to the pastor and everyone else. Why don't you study and show thyself? Don't listen to me. Go and find out for yourself. Go do some research. Go find out who is King James. Find out the history of King James. In the military, I'm gonna say this, I'm done. When I first got to the DC area with the military, an older gentleman that's a sergeant major said, read bios. Before you go meet somebody, read the bio. How many of you read about the bio of the person, the book you read? How many of you know the history of the person that wrote the book? How many of you understand what mind state they was in when they wrote it? Right? I mean, it just brought a smile on my face because I know Most of us don't. We just pick up and start reading, right? When you listen to these articles and you read these magazines and these reporters and all this stuff, find out what the station is about, who started the station, find out the background on it, why it was started, who's behind it, what is their agenda, what are they looking for, what are they doing, and why? You know what I'm saying? You're going around repeating this stuff, you're going around here echoing stuff, you don't know nothing about them, and you just echoing what you heard, or what they said, or what you think you read, or how they put in perspective. All right, longer than I expected. I lied up the front. It was long. Sorry. Coach T, why would you be great? Best not grow your future.